Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Reacts as we are in the Ren Money Game Trilogy Part 2
The
with,
Moneyverse.
with Money Game Part 2. So obviously we did Part 1 yesterday, or in, our terms, 20 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and fucking loved it. High hopes for this.
Had a time for a quick vape and then in for number two, weren't we? Whereas you guys will think, bloody hell, how long was they drawing on that vape? They've been 24 hours. Yeah, high hopes. We loved that, didn't we? One of the things we said sort of straight after coming off it is they can't wait to dig into Money Game 1 so much more, because there's so much more than you can pick up in a singular listen and a singular reaction, other than probably the kind of love we had for it. But tricky sequel possibly. We're more used to it in the world of movies, where sequels are more often not awful. Let's hope that this isn't a musical equivalent of that.
So, shall we jump in to number 2?
Yes, and this is the lyric video, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's because we wanted the full song, and I think it's a bridge bit on the video. But enough talking, let's do this.
Strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on, needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain, while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we died upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game. This old money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step 1, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step 2, gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste man. 3, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4, expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5, why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6, guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7, press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8, big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9, polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10, the world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we died upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game. fault.
So sometimes in life, you think everyone should know this and people shouldn't need telling. But I think people kind of know this, but really need telling. And because, well, but we don't, do we? Like, I think, like we said from the previous one, great message. That message is here. I think where this has a subtle change in message, and I think this one's more um, in your face, isn't it? I think
Yes,
this one
much more
has that more,
direct.
yeah, and explaining economics via medium of song. Like if you said that to someone, they'd probably go, "What?" But yeah, I think the directness of this is, I think it delivers that message much more emphatically. Um, and I think one of the really, really interesting bits for me is that clearly going, well, look, we're all complicit in this as well. And I think
Yeah.
that's, I go back to what I said about sometimes some people don't know the message, some people do know the message, some people hide away from the message. And I think that's one of the really clever things about this is the way that it's delivered is, look, we all know this. Some people are grotesquely using this, but we're all kind of complicit because we're all part of this money game and we are letting it go on. So, and messaging in music. I kind of want to. This won't happen. I can't drive. I want to drive around a town playing this. Like all the times I have to hear absolutely tosh music coming out of people's cars and going, look, people like listen to this because whether you are right, left, up, down in your political views, and there's nothing that's not true here, is there?
No, this thing is it left leaning? Yes, in a way, because the people on the left are the ones that speak out about this stuff. The people on the right know that it happens, but allow it and want it to happen because usually they've got their fingers in those pies. But it's the people that don't either don't know it's happening to the point of understanding that they're being manipulated.
Yeah, yeah,
They just see the new pair of Jordans or new flavor of Coke or new McDonald's burger or whatever and go, "Ooh, new shiny, I must have," because they just are in on that side of it. But it is that thing of like, this is, yeah, it is big picture stuff, but put in a way that people can understand.
yeah.
And I would play this in schools to kids to explain how economic work.
Ten,
Probably be,
ten,
thrown out because of the swearing, but
10 point 10 point step kind of view of
corporations.
capitalist corporation
Yeah,
economics, isn't it? And God, I mean, like I'm old enough. I know I don't look it. I only look 21, but I'm old enough to go right the way back to when like Wall Street comes out as a movie and the Gordon Gekko greed is good era, and of course that was reflecting life and. Greed's always been there, and power grabbing, money grabbing's always been there. But I think it needs things like this to put it into people's attention, doesn't it? Because there
yeah,
are, as we said, like the messages in the song about how people with, and I'm going to say like with more nefarious, selfish goals in life will flower loads of stuff in front of you to distract you. And some of that distraction will be media, entertainment, etc., etc., etc. And we're absolute suckers for that sort of stuff. But sometimes it can be such a force for good, and I think this song is such a force for good. And I think you're right. I think, like, you're looking at sort of generationally, if there's ever going to be any kind of legitimate change in the human race and the way we do things, you need a lot of people to sign up with this, sign up for a consistent message. And I think targeting, that sounds a bit terrible, but targeting the youth for this is the best chance we have as a species. Not to get too over dramatic, but it's not going to be us, is it? And it's not going to be
No,
the generation that's ahead of us or behind us, because we've grown up with this.
we're
But
complicit.
yeah, but and how do you connect to people? And you're right. You're not going to get taught it in schools, because the people who are teaching you are not doing it with any nefarious motive, but they are complicit. They're us. They're just trying to live their life, pay their mortgage, go on the holiday, and things like that. And we're kind of stuck in this capitalist. God, I'm sounding like a revolutionary here, but this capitalist life that we're in, and I don't really know how to break it, because I think the only way you break it is if people en masse want to break it and break it for something else. But everything's kind of structured around this. But I guess what this says to me is there's probably ways of doing it. So when you get further into the song and it talks about, moving into oil and politics and things like that, the more destructive things, um, that's I guess where we want to have a look. And yeah, you said about the burger. You buy that burger, and your compulsion is, I fancy a burger. But actually, what's gone into making that burger? And I don't mean like who was out the back putting it together, but what is the structure that sits behind that is mass producing these things? And yeah, it's such a fantastic subject matter to delve into, and I wish it was something that people were more interested in. And I think it's songs like this that will bring people into being more interested into. Ask those questions that I think we should all be asking. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll go this way. You might look at it and go, no, I kind of like the system we've got because I do want
Yeah,
this, that, and the other. But I think the important thing is about thinking about it and asking the questions, isn't it?
yeah. It's something. It's like we had Rage
Yeah.
telling us, uh, in a way with
Well,
the
and I said for
capitalism
you,
stuff, and
I said to you before, like I first get my music messaging through Public Enemy, and then into, as you say, bands like Rage. And I don't think I'd be the person I am without listening to those bands, because I could have easily, in a world where I wasn't getting that messaging and starting to open my eyes and think about things in a different way, um, or asking those questions, I think, oh God, I hate to say this, but I probably would have carried on being a Sun reader, have a pint down the pub. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think we kind of owe it to ourselves to ask questions and try and be better.
yes,
Love what they did with
but
music on this as well. Love
yeah,
how it's the money game music, but with that added, the added drums for one. Like, really love what they're doing with the drum beat, but I don't know, just that richer texture to it as it moved away from just the electric guitar, and it felt like, as a sequel, it felt like it is progressing. So not only is the messaging, I think, a bit harder and a bit more in your face, but the music is pushed up a level to go alongside that.
but what I did love is that it pulls back to that same chorus from part one.
We didn't talk about that in part one either, did I? And I
No,
really love that. I really love his vocal delivery on that. I think it's something we saw in High Ren, and I think in High Ren maybe it stands out that little bit more because he does such a lot with that vocal range. But he can rap, and I'm going to go with rap. And I know there's a bit of talk about for me he's a rapper who's a great singer as well. Like he's got the lot, hasn't he? This boy.
yes, he's a talented boy.
Well, makes that messaging even more important for me. He's a talented boy, and he could just phone it in. He could just be banging out songs left, right, and centre about I don't know, like the Jordans that he's wearing and the watch that he bought, etc., etc. But it's using that talent for, I think, a very positive goal.
Yes. So two down, two thumbs up so far. Let us know.
We'll
Go
wait
ahead.
until after the third to kind of go. We'll pick our favourite, I guess. But I will say that reticence I had at the beginning of going, Will this be Godfather 2, which is an amazing sequel, or Empire Strikes Back, which is an amazing sequel, or will it be Terminator 2, which is Blob? And for me, it was Godfather 2 and Empire Strikes Back for me.
So, as always, YouTube things, like, subscribe, ring bells, and we're back tomorrow with part 3. But until then, goodbye.